Yeah, man. That's a voice of power. I feel guilty even listening to him.
You should, Sway. Let me tell y'all, citizens, today's Wednesday, right? Every single Wednesday before I come to SiriusXM at 6 a.m. to be exact, I am with our guest right here. I was joking with him about a month ago and saying how outside of my partner, Carl, this is the only man who knows my body at a very high level. And that is only because for the last 10 years, I've been a client, a trading client of his, but also a friend. This is someone who is a leader within the wellness and fitness space. He's a certified strength coach. He's also a Nike running coach. He's done so many marathons himself. He's the founder of Fit for Us, whose aim is to make sure that there is equitable health and wealth outcomes for Black and brown communities. And he is here with us, citizens, to express how he got our buddy Winston Duke prepared for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and also to help us see how we can put more activity in our life to upgrade the quality of our life. Callaway.
Yeah.
Percell Dugger.
Percell Dugger. Come on, man. I'm going to open the phone line. I'm going to open the phone lines for men who have problems with their body right now because of energy. You don't get up. It's hard to get started. Same with women. You know, when we think of our citizenship, you know, if you're having issues getting to the place you want to be, this man has free advice today only. 888-742-3345. To close the Black health gap, including food insecurities and fitness, recreational desserts, while improving access to quality mental health resources. That's a part of what you do. Can you speak to the Black health gap that you're speaking of?
Yeah, I would say, the health industry in this country doesn't really prioritize the health.
Wait, hold on, man. You about to hit us with this voice right now, Percell?
Yo,
you went from
that alto.
Wow.
Hot talk is hot talk. I don't know what to do.
Okay, speak to it.
But yeah, the fitness and healthcare industry in this country doesn't prioritize the health outcomes or experiences of Black and brown people. Evidence of that is, the disproportionate number of Black and brown folks who are impacted by heart disease, thinking about diabetes, thinking about maternal health disparities, and the high number of Black women who have to ask themselves, like, do I want to live or does my child want to live, right, when they are, like, trying to deliver. And I think that's something that is very, very, much a Black mark on our country. But I think when we think about the experiences of Black and brown folks, it's really important for us to prioritize our own systems and support to show up for ourselves and our communities. And that's just really what I'm committed to, and doing it across the board at the highest levels and at, the community level as well.
What kind of habits do you feel like, and just across the board, just as Americans, what kind of habits do we hold that are bad for our health?
I think ultimately activity and just like movement, right? I think as Americans, we have a very linear understanding of what fitness is. We think of it as like, I have to have a gym membership, or I have to, lift weights, or I have to, grab a barbell or dumbbells. But in reality, it's like, I could jump rope, I could dance, I could go for hikes and climbs, I could go for a walk, I could choose to take the steps over, the escalator or the elevator, right? I think understanding that movement is very much a spectrum and not a definitive linear one, approach to it is a great place to start. The other thing I would say is that, the language around the industry really needs to evolve. I think oftentimes when we talk about fitness and wellness in our space, it's very patronizing. It's very like much that you're being talked down to. Yeah. And it's part of the reason why so many people have a barrier it feels like a barrier within the industry, because when they go to get support, it almost seems like this militant gym bro who don't even look like you, don't understand where you come from, but they're talking out you about like what you need to do. Right. Yeah. And it could be a bit, it feels like bullying to an extent. And in reality, it's like, but aren't you here to help me? Right? Isn't your goal, isn't the reason why you exist in this injury to actually support me and my health goals? And I think ultimately, like, that's what we attempt to do with the work with Fit for Us, is, make sure that we're holding each other accountable in terms of building out workshops and plans that support not just like practitioners who are, taking our workshops and taking our courses, but simultaneously with the advertisers and the brands that we work with for our creative agency.
I want to get to some of these callers, and then Tracy and Heather jump in. Corey is in South Carolina and has a question. This is Percell Dugger, training and fitness guru, if you will, along with a lot of other things. You can follow him at Good Work, GOODWRK, on Instagram. Corey, you have a question?
What up, Corey?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What up, Sway?
What up,
how you doing, Percell?
Yeah,
I got a
need you,
question.
Purcell. He sounds sluggish.
Stop it, Sway. We just spoke about this. No shaming.
Oh, my bad.
Just said that.
I'm sorry, Corey. I didn't mean
All
to
right,
bully you.
well, check it out. So, I'm overweight. I hired a trainer, and I started to eat just fruit, and I lost a lot of weight. I lost 40 pounds, but I'm diabetic, and I couldn't keep eating only fruit because it rose my sugar levels too high. What can I eat to lose weight and maintain that weight loss so I don't gain it back when you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of low glycemic fruits out there. And just a low glycemic like diet in general, I would say would probably be your best bet, because the difficult thing about sugar is that it's in almost everything. Mm-hmm. So anything in terms of the glycemic index, so that would be like pineapples, citrusy fruits, strawberries, blueberries, antioxidants like raspberries, blackberries would be really, really helpful. But then also just thinking about ways that you can increase your fiber intake that would offset like the glycemic index or the glycemic index in terms of like the fruit that you can't have, but also optimizing like, you know, you're efficiently optimizing like your cholesterol and your blood pressure. I would say like think about low glycemic fruits and then increasing your fiber intake, and that might be through like spinach, kale, green vegetables, any like not stay away from like obviously like carbohydrates, but the fruit wise, I would say still low glycemic fruits are probably like your best bet to go. And then outside of that, I would say think about increasing your fiber intake to kind of offset and support like a sustainable approach. So that way you're not just like dependent on these 4 fruits, but you're also being able to like offset in those moments when you might be lacking in energy, if that makes sense.
Corey, you on Instagram, Corey?
No, I'm not, actually.
Okay, get on Instagram and follow Percell at Good Work. What's your Instagram?
GOODWRK. Yep, Good Work.
All the citizens follow him at Good Work, and that way, because you may not be able to get on this phone line, but you can hit him up directly and ask him questions directly. And maybe, Corey, you should hire him in as a consultant.
Right.
Yeah, and get some protein, bro.
Yeah, don't just eat fruit.
Yeah.
What kind of fun life is that?
Yeah, man. What's your bowel movement like?
This is a start for him, man. He said he was a diabetic.
He lost 40, so he had a lot of bowel movements. All right, Corey, follow him at Good Work, WRK, okay? We got Dice on the line from Texas. Dice.
Roll the dice.
Hey, how y'all doing, man? Appreciate y'all, man. I listen to y'all every day. It's a dang on shame I finally got in. How y'all doing?
Thank you, Dice, man.
That's what's up.
You must need it. This is a good one for you.
Look, hey, look, I got a lot of energy, man. Look, Percy, how you doing, by the way, too, as well? Check this out. Dice is not D-I-C-E, y'all. It's D-Y-C-E. Check it out. Dedicated, young, creative, energetic. That's my acronym. My real name is Leonard.
Okay.
I go by Dice.
What's your question?
So, look, I'll keep asking people this right here. Why do they keep getting programmed with all these food things, this meat and all this stuff? You're killing yourself. Follow the Dr. Sebi regimen. I lost 70 pounds in 3 months. I was 210, y'all. I don't eat that much meat. I sleep like 3-4 hours a day, and I'm busting energy the next second. Okay. I'm a walking energy drink. And I promise you, I don't listen to the naysayers. I promise you, I follow Dr. Sebi's, whatever, how y'all pronounce it, his regimen, and I follow my conscience.
Absolutely.
Whatever Dr. Percy talking about, he's on the money. He following the same path, just a different name. He doing the exact same thing. Stop eating all this bullshit stuff, y'all. You think your body is like a car. If you put trash in your car, you think your car gonna make it up that hill?
Good point, man. I appreciate you, Dice. You a citizen, brother.
I sway at the morning.
We got Ken from Montreal on the line. Ken, you got a question?
Kimmy, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
Great.
Feeling good.
All
right.
My question is, so I'm 43 years old, and I recently started working out again. It's been about 8 months. And
congratulations.
Thank you very much. I see myself at 230, and I said it's just too much. So I started working out, and now I'm down to 205. So I'm very happy with what I'm seeing. I don't want to stop at all. But the thing is, I've been kind of cheating. My kids, they put me onto this stuff, this pre-workout shit, and I've been using it a lot, and I take the one that has 400 milligrams of caffeine, and I use it every morning, I start my workout at 5 in the morning, and then I use that, and I cut my coffee out, and I cut out a lot of other shit.
So what's your question, Ken? Because Heather has to go to Urban View, Ken.
And I got another
I'm
question.
kind of nervous on the amount of caffeine. That's my question. With my age and everything.
I would say the simple thing you could do is just get some more sleep. I think that's a great way for you to actually like optimize your performance is by getting more rest. So whether that might be taking naps, that might be getting to bed early, that might be setting an alarm and developing a nighttime routine to help you get some more sleep to get to bed earlier. But I think more rest is the most sustainable option because as you age, as you grow, and as your body starts to change over the years, putting more caffeine in it or more pre-workouts with other supplements that you don't really know what could have a long-term impact on your body isn't like a great approach. I would say you'll save more money and you'll have more time and you'll feel more well rested and just more optimized for performance just by prioritizing more sleep, whether that be getting to bed earlier, having a nighttime routine, setting an alarm to remind you to go to bed at a certain time, or just taking a nap.
All right, Ken, try that, brother, and follow him at Good Work. Good WRK. Thank you, brother. Citizen.
Sway in the morning. Ken actually leads to my question, Percell, about Sway. We could ask Sway in this. Because, Sway, how much rest are you getting in movement?
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to laugh.
Man, I only been here about like 10 minutes, and y'all been bullying my man since I walked in.
Thank you, Percell. Thank you, my brother.
We call it holding him accountable.
Thank you. Thank you, man. I actually went to bed around 10:30 last night. It was the best sleep ever. I slept till 6. It was amazing.
One night a month?
Whenever I go to bed early enough, I feel great. I feel excellent.
Bell Hooks said, honesty without empathy is cruelty. So I'm hoping y'all being real empathetic towards my man.
Thank you, Percell.
And not being cruel.
I'm sensitive.
In terms of how y'all talking to him today.
I have feelings.
And when I'm not around, because I'm only here today.
You have no idea how he acts. We just show you in public how we are. He hides his bullying.
This is not true, Percell. I'm not working out.
They said believe black women, so I'm on your side.
Hello.
There you go.
Yeah, I know. You got to say that on the mic.
Wow.
All right. So listen, I do have a friend of mine who's a trainer. His name is Ak.
What up, Ak?
I'm surprised y'all probably know each other. I don't know how to say his whole name.
Okay.
And when I'm out with him, I do excellent, and he's great. You guys have similar approaches in terms of he's not talking at me. He's encouraging me the whole nine.
Right.
It's just hard for me, bro.
Yeah.
It's just I start traveling. I'm gone for a few days. When I go to Oakland, I eat like crap. You know what I mean? I'm around family members. I'm just eating bad. I go to L.A. I don't have roots in a lot of places, so I continue to move around.
Right.
I got roots in a lot of places, but I don't stay still. So it's been hard to formulate a routine. I don't know if I'm a morning guy, afternoon guy, an evening guy. Percell, man.
Help him.
Yeah, I mean.
SOS.
That's valid. I think rule number one is like you got to find something that's sustainable. So like that might be something that you could tap into no matter what.
Yeah.
So I know like Tracy, for her, like microdosing is like a big thing.
Okay.
And microdosing on movement. You don't have to only work out for 3 hours or 2 hours, an hour and a half, or even like 45 minutes. You can get in a good 20 minutes of work in between, like, you having calls, you taking meetings, you having to like do certain things. There's been moments where Tracy has traveled to other cities and she was busy, and I referred her to trainers who I knew who are credible and amazing individuals.
I remember she went to L.A. She never made the appointment, but I'm glad you did make the referral.
That's wild.
Okay, go ahead.
So she actually did. I know because the trainer checked in with me because she was my homegirl. But it's all right. So it's
P,
cool.
you see what we deal with, though,
To the
right?
camera.
You see?
Yeah,
you see
damn.
now?
What's time? Every time?
Every
Okay, but go ahead. But microdosing on.
I say that to say, you might want to reach out to Ak and ask him about some relationships that he has with folks outside of your network.
Okay.
Right? So when you're traveling, he could put you in touch with some people. It's like seamless things like that, right? Like you got to prioritize it first, but you got to hold the people who support you in your journey accountable to keeping you on board, because that's really what the job is and the purpose is in your life.
Our job.
So like, yeah, I would say talk to him. Say, hey, hold me down. Like, anybody in LA that you could put me in touch with that could like give me a good place to eat or a place that I go work out at. That might be helpful.
Look at them.
We support you, Sway.
Now that Percell is talking, I realize this is the man you've been trying to introduce me to. Is this
that's
a while
you.
now.
That's
Ain't been making them appointments, have you now, player?
This is an intervention.
Yeah, this is really an intervention, Sway. Hi, my name is Sway. I need help.
Right.
This is why we here, man. This is why he wore green. This is what he was for, Sway.
We went from plant-based to get your body right with movement, Callaway. Don't you see? We got the full regimen.
And now
for you.
Percell sees how you work by taking shots at us in that nice, calm voice you do. Tracy didn't make an appointment, Percell, but he's like, she actually did. Now he
I
gets
want to
you.
rock with you. Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. I think it's thank you for what you're offering. A lot of people, before you ask this question, I think this guy got a really interesting question. Tonio is in Dallas. Tonio, what's your question? Antonio, what's your question?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, go.
All right, so I've been fluctuating weight for the past couple of years. I lost about like 40 pounds at a point in time. And now my main issue is just gynecomastia, which is like male breast tissue. And so I'm trying to figure out what's some of the better ways to help reduce that.
Yeah, great question. So I know most coaches would tell you to either focus on doing like some various level of like either changing your volume, right? So doing more sets or more reps, or they might tell you to just add some more load. But I think a key to like having changes like in your aesthetics, like your physique. Try changing up like the angles in which you like to lift like chest exercises. So think about like flat bench press, think about incline bench press, think about decline bench press. Then on top of that, I would also encourage you to increase time under tension. What that also does is like it puts more stress on your pecs. So think about time under tension. That means like maybe you count to 10 seconds going all the way down, and then coming all the way up, you count to 10 seconds. That's going to encourage you to get more burn out of your muscle tissue, which is going to fire up those tissues and essentially like put more stress on them so that they have a level of like adaptation or changes at the muscular level. So I would say increase time under tension for your workouts, and think about changing the angles in which you lift for like bench press. Think about incline bench, decline bench. Think about changing the angles maybe for like you do 8 sets, and every 2 sets you change the angle from decline to flat to a soft incline to a really high incline, and then keep the weight the same. And then I would change up the tempo in which you move. Think about going down for 4 seconds, up for 4 seconds. So down for 10, up for 1. But play around with time under tension, and that will give you an increase in hypertrophy in your muscle tissue. That will have a direct impact on just that part of your body.
Man titties you got.
Stop.
We just finished talking about language.
I'm sorry about that, man. I'm working on mine too. I'm sorry.
It don't sound like it.
I'm sorry, Percell.
The new year is coming. That's your first resolution.
Yo, Tonio, follow this man. He's available. Good work. GOODWRK. Percell Dugger. Okay? Make sure you follow him. Fit for us. All right, Tracy, you want to conclude the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, we got to speak about Black Panther. Everyone has high anticipation for the sequel, Wakanda Forever, on Friday. We're actually speaking with the guest, and we're going to have that for the citizens tomorrow. Yeah, and I think it's important for us as a community to have a wider display of job options outside of like entertainment. When you think about how a lot of folks want to be artists, nothing's wrong with that, or perhaps want to be actors, nothing's wrong with that, but variety is definitely the spice of life. Can you speak about what it's like to be a quote unquote celebrity trainer, the process of it, how that happened, and really what went into prepping Winston Duke for this role?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the homie. Condolences to him and his family. He just lost his mom not too long ago. But I would say that like what goes on to it is just, being very clear about, your story as a coach. I've been fortunate enough that I've known Winston prior to when we were in college, right? And we very much like, just kept in touch over the years. But I think had I at any point in time given up on my journey as a coach or decided to like pursue other passions, whether it be like law school or being a coach of like a collegiate team of some sort, had I ever just stopped doing that, I don't think we would have had, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. But he was just, a supporter from afar, and just staying in touch over the years. And he saw the work that I was doing. He identified with it. He reached out to me, and we made it happen. But he's a great person. I'm super excited for him. I'm super excited to see the film like everybody else. And that's kind of how that came about. And I think, for anyone who wants to, you're talking about like variability. I think with him, it really just about like keeping people engaged.
Yeah.
I think all of my clients, yourself included, like you can't walk in there every day with the same old bag of tricks. Yeah. Right. You really have to be intentional about what we call progressive overload and ensuring that the person is getting the adaptations or the changes in their body and physique that they actually are they want. Right. So I think with him and with everybody else that I work with, I really try to prioritize them and their individual needs and then meet them where they are. Like, not everyone wants to wake up at 5 in the morning. Right. Like, so that means like my butt need to be up late to make sure that I'm accommodating them and working with them. So I think for anyone who's thinking about being a celebrity coach, you got to recognize that like it's not about you. Like your ego got to get let go of, or you have to let go of your ego at the door and really commit to investing in that human and whatever amount of time you have with them and meeting them wherever they are. So if they come to you and they back hurt one day, you better have a litany of, workouts and movements and approaches in your Rolodex that you can tap into. And, they come to you telling you they pinky hurt, they neck or their shoulders, whatever it is, like you're the end all be all expert for them. And if you're not, then just know that they're a celebrity. They probably have a litany of resources. They can very easily tap somebody else. So you just want to like stay sharp, be up to date on your workshops and all of your like learnings and all of your like, your CEUs and your certifications and blah, 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 blah. Like just make sure you locked in, because when they need you, and they're not, at least, working with him, he's very, very much committed to his goals, just the way that I am. And like, we never butted heads or had a problem, but like, he's serious. He wasn't playing around. He wasn't like, oh, bro, I'm gonna hire you and we could just, hang out and be friends. Like, we were there to do a job and we got the work done. But I would just say to anyone, like, if you ever get pinged or reached out to by somebody, just come in there ready to work.
Percell Dugger, give him a big round of applause. Fit for us.
My guy.
Good work, GOODWRK. Make sure you follow him. This was excellent. I am so motivated. Microdosing.
No problem, man.
I appreciate that. Never heard it put like that. Fitness put in that term. Yeah. I totally get that.
They did a study where they had a bunch of like collegiate, like fit athletes.
Yeah. And
they trained them all. It was like a meta-analysis. Actually not a meta, it was a study though. And they trained them all for like 2 weeks. And the group that they only worked out for like 20 to 30 minutes, but they did that every day, versus the group that worked out 3 to 4 days a week for like an hour and a half. The group that did it every day for a microdose of time, like their results were like almost 30% better than the other group. And it's like, some people only got 20, 30 minutes, and give yourself grace and don't feel guilty about that. Just prioritize that 20 to 30 minutes, or even that 10 minutes or whatever it is. And I promise you that'll help you build confidence, formulate a really healthy habit, and eventually have those changes that you're looking to make, whether it's in your lifestyle, your habits, or even, just your body as in whole. So yeah, microdosing on movement is a sustainable approach, and it's one that I recommend everyone tap into at times.
I like that. I like that, man. Percell Dugger, thank you for coming by, brother. We appreciate you helping us improve the quality of life, our lives.